Welcome to Pixel Pickers, the podcast for players picking the pixels that pack a punch. I'm Jarvis.
And I'm Josh.
All right, Josh. So I think, after our last, big talk, we went over the Xbox and all of the new games coming out. But, Xbox, the one thing that we didn't really talk about that they kind of hit pretty hard during their presentation last week was, they went from their little weird notes about everything is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, kind of going with cloud gaming and all of that until they finally unveiled their crossover with ROG and the new ROG Xbox Ally X. But before we even get to there, let's just talk about the ROG Ally X, kind of the leading juggernaut right now for handheld PC gaming or just handheld gaming in general. Josh, do you have one of these guys?
No, I haven't got into the whole market for I don't want to call them Switch likes, but the large handhelds that are all shaped in that same sort of
Yeah,
rectangular Switch design. I've
I
only
think
ever,
Switch like is fair. Totally.
I feel like it's diminutive to how powerful these little machines actually are though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
Switch like, but better than Switch in every way. The only thing that Nintendo is ever gonna have is Nintendo. That IP.
yeah, because I was actually today was looking into it because I was like, man, I was just thinking about it after playing some of the Steam Next Fest demos that we're going to talk about later. I'm like, some of these I just kind of want to be in my bed or on my couch just playing these, and I don't want to have to
Yeah,
try to navigate the Nintendo eShop even if these games will come there. And
yeah,
with how the Switch 2 is what I'm hearing from people who have played it and have one, I'm not really that super excited to drop 600 on it.
yeah. It's sounding really like a a Switch 1.5. You
Yeah,
know?
it run better is what it sounds like, which is great. That's what I want from that's all I
Yeah. No,
wanted from the
sounds
Switch 2.
awesome. That's it.
But there's just some weird things with it. I was like, I'm gonna wait it out and see just how it goes. If there's something that comes out that I have to play, I'll get it. But I was like, but I because what I was thinking about was during the Xbox programming, they talked about hey, these are gonna start supporting the Microsoft Store with Game Pass, and just kind of hearing that, if it
Yeah,
runs Steam and Game Pass, that makes it so worth it for me. So I just kind of
that's it.
but I googled how much does a ROG Ally X cost, right? Because if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get the good one. And I started
Yeah,
seeing the prices for these machines, and I was like, "Whoo, these are premier items." I
they
think
really are.
I think the ROG Ally X goes for about $900 when I looked, and
Yes, sir.
top of the line Steam Deck was around 700,
Oh,
something like
sorry. Okay. So right now on the ROG website, the ROG Ally X is $800,
$800.
$799.99.
So
Probably gets you nearly to 900 with all your taxes, and you're gonna get a case with it and all of that.
yeah, so you're looking at about $800, $900. The 1 terabyte Steam Deck OLED, which granted that is the OLED product, and these are the top of the line premieres of these things.
Yes,
That
and
one's
as an OLED haver with my Switch, I have to recommend just sticking with LCD screens for a screen that you're gonna have, maybe 8 to 12 inches away from your face. Yeah, the
little
the
hard on your
OLED's a bit
eyes.
much. Yeah, yeah, especially if someone with kind of like pre-glaucoma and all that, it's rough for me to play the Switch now. The trade-off is it is absolutely gorgeous. The Switch has never looked better, or any of the games on the Switch have never looked better. But I understand why Nintendo probably move back on that LCD screen. Probably also possibly maybe a little cost thing. I don't know,
It's
but
also, yeah, it's a cost thing, and it's so they can offer the upgrade later. That's why that
yes, also
exists.
true.
It's so people who bought the Switch 2 can, the hardcore consumers that care about those types of things, they already bought the Switch 2, so that's 600 in. And then the Switch
Yep.
2 OLED comes out for $100 more, so that's another 700 in.
Well, it's Nintendo, so the name will probably be the new Switch too.
I mean, they just call the Switch OLED Switch OLED. I think they're getting
That is
away
true.
from the dumbness to an extent, at least in their naming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they'll never be good at it again unless they just embrace the GameCubiness of them. If they have another generation like that, but that's uh, that's too far away from playing it safe and earning money.
Yeah, but so my question is like these things are very expensive machines. Like they cost as
Oh yeah,
much as a PS5 Pro. They are not cheap.
yeah,
Like, but are they? Is it worth it? That's like my thing.
absolutely.
Like easy sell worth
As
it.
Easy sell. For someone, who's kind of like a prodigious gamer like yourself, someone that, already enjoys PC gaming. This wouldn't even be like your first foray into it. But I want to asterisk this as I think probably also the best way for someone who is a console gamer to make the leap to PC gaming. But yeah, like for you, this is an easy sell. This is a no-brainer. Steam Deck, that's what I have right now. I do not have the newest model. I do not have the OLED. I learned my lesson from my Switch OLED and said, hey, for me personally, I'm gonna switch with a or stick with an LCD screen. I like them both. The OLED really does look better, but the LCD is just like I can just you know play on that as frequently as I want without like ever having real issues.
Yeah, I could see
Um,
that being like a thing because like I know for me with my Quest
yeah.
3, I think
hmm
I think that has OLED like lenses in there.
I'm not sure. I'm not really up on Quest,
Uh
but it wouldn't surprise me.
Man, I all I know is I can only play it for like an hour or so, and I gotta like take it off because my eyes are like exhausted. And I don't know if that's just a,
Yeah.
VR thing because I have an index as well that I had for a while,
Okay.
so I like it wasn't my first time in VR. So like I've beat games in VR. I've maybe I have like maybe 100 or like more hours in VR, which to VR people
Okay.
that's nothing, but for someone
Right.
who puts it on just for like maybe once every other month, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, it is.
Okay, so I'll have to look in. I think I'll wait for the ROG Xbox Ally just because the Game
Absolutely.
Pass like merge with it. But
No,
also
that's such an easy sell. Like, and I think we had this conversation a month or so ago off mic, and it was basically as soon as whatever Xbox device they say they're going to announce and partner up, because they were obviously hinting at it with all of their campaigning recently. As soon as they say that it also has Steam, like that is the killer combo for me.
yeah,
um, yeah, that's so much. Like that kills it, man. That's such gonna be such a good device. And also it looks so nice combining that handheld device. Like the already kind of smooth but chunky ROG Ally X, combining that with the very like chunky aesthetic of the Xbox. Like I think it looks like a really good device. I like it. I'll be getting one myself, and I've not gotten a Switch 2 either. I will get one around Duskbloods. I don't know if it'll be before or if I'm gonna wait for it to come out, but I know I am going to play that game, so I will eventually pick up a Switch 2.
yeah. Like
But yeah,
the only must play for me for the Switch 2 that like I'm like I need to play this is probably Metroid Prime 4 because a couple of months ago I finally played and beat the first one for the first time,
yeah,
and I was like, man, like that game's a vibe. Like
yeah.
like
Especially in the remaster, they killed it on that
yeah,
remaster.
that's a game where I put on like my nice headphones and I was just like
Yep.
like just vibing out. I would play it for a long period of time
hmm
and not realize. So that's like the only
Yeah.
thing that like would really make me get the Switch 2, but that's also coming to the Switch.
Yeah, that's fair. And I don't know, I'll review weight it, and I just want to know if the performance is notably like really bad on the Switch.
Yeah, if it's like 30
Um,
on the Switch, 60 frame like they have it they said
yeah.
at the like the Switch 2 event that they did when like the announcement event, they had a Metroid Prime 4 playable and docked it was like 124K. So I
Yeah.
imagine
Oh,
it's
yeah.
at least 1080, 60 undocked and
Exactly.
the Switch one is not hitting that. I don't even think
No,
the
never.
screen's not even 1080, I believe. It's like 720
No.
screen or
Yep.
maybe a little more.
No, it always outputs 720. Um, I can't remember actually.
Yeah, it's been so long
Well,
since I've
the
looked
thing
at the
is also
specs.
I know the OLED has slightly different specs, but I don't remember if the that outlet output changed or anything. I'm gonna look this up while we keep talking, but
Yeah,
slowly in the
yeah,
background.
but that's like I said, Metroid Prime 4. Like I don't know what else they could announce. My wife definitely wants it for Tamagotchi on the island or whatever it was. But
Yeah,
that's a very like certain
niche.
niche gamer. Like you played that first one and you love that jam. That's your jam right there.
Yeah,
Uh, but, like a 3D Mario would definitely do it because man, I didn't grow up with 64. Like I played Sunshine at my cousin's like growing up, but man, Mario Odyssey was like a revelation for me when I played
uh,
that game.
so good.
I was like, I get it now. I get why people stand these 3D Mario games because I've gone back and tried
Yeah,
Mario 64, but like I tried it in a like modern, like with my modern lenses on. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
like I understand why it's great for its time. I personally don't think it holds up, which is going to get me crucified somewhere. And Mario Sunshine, that's just not a good game. I hate to break it to you. That's just
I don't know. I think I really enjoy the weirdness of Mario Sunshine.
I just again like I think Mario 64 is a way better game than Sunshine. And if
Yeah.
I
Oh
didn't
yeah. But I mean, Mario 64 is also semi revered as one of the best games.
yeah, that's true. That
Also, the Switch is 720. The
720.
original
Okay.
Switch. Oh wait. So
Yeah, so I don't
yeah, it should easily be able to hit that
yeah,
if it can output such greatness on the Switch too.
yeah, so like I don't know what would be like the must like if they made this game, I would go buy the Switch 2 immediately. Because telling me I can play
Yeah.
Cyberpunk on the Switch 2, that doesn't do anything for me, honestly.
No.
Uh
If I was, you know what? Okay, so here's the thing. We're speaking personally where we are now in our lives, but I will say that maybe if I was in the Navy or very mobile again, I would probably already be sold on a Switch too. It immediately is obviously easier to play in a group setting, like to do the thing that Nintendo has always wanted you to do, which is, you know, flop out that kickstand, set up the Switch, everybody picks up their little Joy-Con and you all play Smash. Like the Switch 2 with the size and the actual, accessibility features being good now with the, better audio and kickstand, you can do that now. So if I was in the Navy again, if we were in the Navy again, I feel like we would probably already have one.
I mean, yeah,
Which
probably, but
apparently
that's
they
it.
also weren't very hard to get.
No, apparently they learned from the
Yeah.
Switch 1 and Wii era where they just you could not get those things.
Yeah, despite the pre-order snafu, the actual, just going out to get a Switch 2 on day of release seems to have gone on pretty well for everybody, to all the folks that picked one up. So good for you.
So,
Nice.
okay, but
But
we're not
also good job Nintendo.
we're not in that situation like us personally. That's a very like
Yeah.
very very personal like we went through this experience type thing.
Oh no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like that people in that situation, for anyone like that, it
Oh
is, I
yeah.
think
I
it's a
mean, by
no-brainer
that
in
logic I
itself.
would already have a Steam Deck. Like when the Steam Deck
Yeah,
came out, I was mad that I wasn't going out on a ship anymore cuz I'm like that would have been so perfect for the ship. That's literally what my
yeah.
first thought was. But but,
Hey, it's perfect at home.
but
I love my
yeah,
deck.
so I'll probably end up getting the Xbox Ally X. I don't know if I'll
Yeah.
be able to get it at full price. We'll see. Because look, I already have the Death Strand. I just got the email from PlayStation. They're like, hey, your Death Stranding 2 Collector's Edition. We're about to charge you for
Oh
that. And I'm
no.
like, ooh, okay. About to take a little
Kadoosh.
$250 fucking punch in the gut.
Damn.
I don't think it was that much, but it's like $200 Collector's Edition. But
Yeah, it's pretty close at least, I'm sure. And then, some tax.
yeah, but like I pre-ordered that back in like February ish. and it finally just gave me a notification like, "Oof, that's coming, that I forgot about this. Forgot I made that choice."
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing about those kind of long wait pre-orders when it finally comes to you again, and it's just like, "No!"
Yeah, I wish they just
I ju
charged
just
me
take the
then.
money at the time.
Yeah, take
Yep.
it when I'm okay with it, and then I can get, like I can, like, build myself back up, but then I did
Yeah.
it, built myself back up to just take the hit again. Oof, it's rough,
Yeah.
but still very excited. So, before we move off
Yeah.
the
No.
handheld discussion, what game could they announce, like, right meow, that would you like, "Okay, I'm gonna go buy a Switch 2 today?" Like, what would it have to be?
So, I mean, here's the thing. It just it has to be coming out now. That's the thing.
Sure,
I'm not gonna buy a
they're
Switch.
shadow dropping the game today,
Okay.
like, in this
And if it's not
hyperbolix
Duskbloods,
it's not Dustbloods.
something that already exists,
Yeah.
okay. So, I'm gonna go with oh man, I don't even know. There's just I have such little brand loyalty left in my body now that I can't think of anything that Nintendo or any other company would put out that would just be so shocking that I would have to do this. Yeah. What are you thinking? What's on your mind for it?
For me,
Yeah.
because I did not grow up the Nintendo guy. It would have to be a crazy pool, like but, like, I'm already getting my, like, year of dreams kind of happening, like, the games I've been asking for years
Yeah.
are starting to finally, like, happen and get announced, so, like, honestly, like, if they wow, I asked this question, I didn't have an answer for myself, I realized. I thought I would. I thought it would just, like, snap to my mind,
Boom. Yeah.
but I'm, like, trying to think,
Uh
like, is there any, like, Nintendo IP I actually care about?
yeah, that's the
Like, I
thing.
don't
Like
like
and I'm like Donkey Kong didn't get me to do it. I don't think, Mario Odyssey 2 would get me to. I know that,
oh, I know mine.
blank of the blank, our Zelda game,
I
is probably not gonna get me to do it.
I know what would get me to do it, and it would be a Zelda game. It would be
Really?
like, it's the 2D remake, kinda like Link's Awakening, maybe not
Okay.
like that kinda art style maybe, but Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons in one package.
Nice.
'Cause that
Nice.
was
Your Game
my
Boy Color era.
that was my Zelda
Very
games
fun.
growing up. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of time in those, and that's how when I think of Zelda, that's what I see. So that
Yeah.
would make me do it.
Absolutely. That would be really cool. I think in kind of in a similar vein then, mine would be uh to stick to it well, it would be like kind of a maybe like a fully voice acted and very very upscaled but not into a new art style Chrono Trigger.
Kinda like the
Or
2D HD version of Chrono Trigger is what
yeah,
you'd want,
exactly.
'cause they've
Like
done
a very big
remasters,
remaster, but really keeping to the spirit of it.
so kinda like the new Dragon Quest, remakes would probably
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, I would
Um,
that would eat so hard.
yeah. But and then like crazy thing, just and this isn't a Nintendo IP or anything, but it's just a game that I very much have always associated with Nintendo, and that's I would want a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth style Final Fantasy VI game with Terra, which I associate Final Fantasy 3 with the Super Nintendo
And the DS and
hugely.
stuff, because they did the remakes on
Yeah,
DS.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I think it's
yeah, I've always associated Final Fantasy with the Nintendo first, and then with Sony because I still would probably say that all of my favorite Final Fantasy games have been of the Sony era, effectively.
yeah, that's where I discovered Final Fantasy with 10 back in
Yeah,
2001-ish. So that's always been a like when I think of it, I think like Sony, and I remember when Final Fantasy 13 was coming out and it was very
yeah,
pushed with the PlayStation like buttons on it. And they had
yep,
a sort of a this is like a little hubbub back then, because back when like video game culture was like this was the biggest deal that you could be mad about. when they put out the screenshots, because we used to care about screenshots back in the day for Final Fantasy 13 on the PS3, we saw like the action shots that had all the button presses, like icons and stuff. But for the 360, because it wasn't originally announced for the 360, also that came like to light later.
Yeah.
The 360 screenshots were just the same thing, but they just photoshopped the buttons over it. So I mean, but
Why
I
would anyone care about
because
this?
it was the drama in the internet. This is pre Gamergate bullshit drama.
Yeah.
This is like when
This is Game Informer magazine drama.
yeah, this was literally in the forums of like GameSpot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I remember like seeing those icons, like that looked wrong. I was like, that doesn't look right with Final
Yeah.
Fantasy. It's like when I see people playing Kingdom Hearts online, but they're playing on Xbox and they're playing Kingdom
That's
Hearts
so
2, and
weird.
it's like press Y to do your reaction. I'm like, that's incorrect. Nope, they should just kept
Oh, you know what? There we go. Kingdom Hearts 4. There is a reasonable game that already semi exists in the ether, right? And it's not vaporware or anything like that. Like they're working towards it, but that's something that could reasonably exist and get dropped. That was the thing. I was trying not to go fantastic with this. I was
right.
trying to think of something that's like actually semi existent already.
So, but
So yeah,
you would get that on your Switch
that
2
that could
over
get me
your
to buy.
PS5? It would have to be like if it releases a Switch 2 exclusive would be the only way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have to be a Switch 2
Okay,
exclusive.
yeah. No
Yeah,
shot in
yeah.
hell. They didn't even
No way.
they didn't
Because
even
it would
fully
probably
release
end
those
up
games.
being like it would probably end up being like the streaming version
Yeah,
that they had on the Switch.
which is
So
so
bad.
I was so mad at that when because
Why?
they like Kingdom Hearts 3, sure, I get it. You can't run Kingdom Hearts 3. That's fair.
Yeah,
But
no.
1 and 2 and Birth by Sleep, those
PlayStation
are
2
streaming?
games?
Yeah, like
Really?
get out of here with that. That is such BS. 'Cause I was so excited that
Yeah.
like I said, we would go underway a lot. We'd be out to sea in the Navy. Just to have those
Yeah.
games with me because I could just like, oh, I'm gonna grind out my Ultima weapons like in between
Oh,
watches. Would have
be
been
so good.
amazing. Nope, it was like streaming cloud edition. I was like,
Yeah.
you gotta be kidding me right now.
I'm I am glad that they I'm pretty sure at least put it in the title. Like
They
the
did. That way
yeah,
you could be mad before you
that would have
clicked on it.
really really pissed a lot of
Oh yeah, if
people
I
off, I'm sure.
bought it and it was
Yeah.
like, I buy it, don't play it, and then I go underway, and then like I don't have internet connection, and it's just like, you have to connect to the
Yeah.
cloud. I'm like, I
Well,
I would have like I would have sunk a ship. I would be in the history books right there.
yeah.
But
Unleash the darkness within you.
so I think that's enough talking about the handhelds and the little tangent I just took us on. Steam Next Fest. Oh, Steam
Oh,
Next
Steam
Fest.
Neck Fest
Steam's.
for the
Why is
vampires.
that so hard to say? Steam Next Fest. I almost fucked it up again.
I think it's going into saying next fest. Like
Yeah,
your brain doesn't want to do it.
yeah. It's like
Next
it
fest.
flows. It doesn't flow right. It like slides too much. But so
Yeah, I hate it.
we've been playing some demos of different games. If we have time, I've also been playing a game that came out last year and a very old game. So if we run out of time, we can talk about those. Uh,
Yeah.
let's start with one I know we both played that we both said was our game we were most excited for coming out of the Keeley Summer Game Fest. Mina the
Yes.
Hollower.
Mina the Hollower by Yacht Club Games.
Yep, that's the makers of Shovel Knight, which was a huge deal back. Oh my god, 10 years ago, probably more.
Yeah.
And this is
Um
their first
yeah.
big game since that. Like I know they had Treasure Trove come out with Shovel Knight. Uh,
Yep, and they had Shovel Knight Dig. You know, honestly, I don't even know if necessarily that was made by Yacht, but probably. Um, but yeah, just a bunch of Shovel Knight, auxiliary stuff.
and all
All very fun, very great.
and all the
Like,
DLC
not
they
to
had to deliver
besmirch it.
on because they had all
Yep.
because they were at the original Kickstarter game. It was like them and Mighty
Yeah.
Number Nine, and we only remember one of those games. But
Yeah,
they had a
exactly.
lot of like
Because they delivered on everything.
yeah
The promise and beauty of it actually like
Oh,
worked
it
out.
was so good.
It's such a great game.
So I was very excited for Mina the Hollower, and I have not been following this game at all. I was like, look, this is just a game I will buy when it comes out. I don't need to see
Yep.
it. Just let me know when the release date is. I will buy it. And then I saw the trailer at Summer Games Fest, and I was like, it's a Game Boy like era Zelda like. Are you
Yep.
shitting me?
Absolutely.
And like I just told you about how much I loved Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages. Like I love that style of game. So I was like, oh, Eve just it rocketed up my like, I will buy this when it comes out. And they had a demo on
Absolutely.
Steam, which granted I did have trouble with the demo at first. It
Oh,
didn't want to
really?
register my Xbox controller until I like it
Huh.
said it worked with it, and it would see that I had the controller plugged in, but I couldn't control anything. So I had to like force
Uh,
Steam to override the game's controls so it would work with my Xbox controller. Very weird
that's a
workaround.
lot of work just for that. That's so weird. I played all of the demos on my Steam Deck. No problems.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was just
didn't expect
it was
any,
just a
but
weird little thing. I'm sure that
yeah.
will be worked out by the time the game comes out. But it did
Oh
take me
yeah,
like
absolutely.
20 minutes of like, why isn't this working? Like I went and tested my controller in other games, and I was like, no, it's working. Yeah, it's thunder and raining over here too.
Yeah. Hey folks, hopefully you'll pick up some of this booming thunder. That is eerie,
Yeah, I can hear it
but
through my
probably
sound
not. We
canceling
have pretty good
headphones.
mics.
And I try to edit out as much as I can. But yeah, Mia the
Leave the
Hollower,
thunder in.
leave the thunder. So Mia the Hollower, man, what a cool game. So you play as this
It's
little
fucking great.
like the world is like anthropomorphic animals, and you play as
Yep.
Mina as she's basically going on a quest, and your ship crashes, and you have to get to the kingdom, and that's about where the demo ends. Is after that.
Yeah. What is a hollower? You don't really know,
Don't know,
but
don't
you
care.
make hollows.
Yeah, you go
I
around.
mean,
It's got Souls influences in it, in the way that
absolutely.
you level up by collecting the bones of the enemies you defeat. But
And just bones strewn about
yeah,
and platformed about as well.
and it is just such a cool game. Like since you're like a little
Yeah.
mouse, you can like dig under the ground, but you can also jump in the game, which for Zelda likes is very rare unless you have an item. But that's like a feature in this one. But if you
Yeah,
combine those
so
two
specific
things, you'll go
ex-
flying.
exactly. Yeah, that's the venture from Overwatch dig jump. So good. Feels great every time. And immediately they start tossing in little like now do a little diagonal jump. Now maybe bounce off this thing. So I can see that and with where Shovel Knight went to in jumping or platforming segments. I could see that end up getting really, really fun and crazy with just the little bit we saw in the demo.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of the Souls influence on it, it starts kind of with a a typical not necessarily. I was gonna say a typical Souls thing, but it actually doesn't happen
Uh,
in most Souls games.
no.
But a typical RPG thing, which is
The shipwreck.
choosing your first weapon.
Oh, I thought you meant the shipwreck, which
Um,
is in a lot of RPGs
No,
also.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. A lot of great RPGs start with a shipwreck. No, you get a choice of three weapons. Typically it's the heavy weapon, the standard weapon, and then the really quick weapon. So what did you choose of
I
the
picked
three weapons
the
offered?
chain sword.
Oh man, I picked the chainsword too. We're not gonna have any different because we both picked the best
Oh,
weapon.
was it?
Clearly the best
Yeah, I
weapon.
picked it for the fact like it's a chain sword.
It's a chainsword. You get distance.
It
It
is
does a bunch
slow
of
though.
damage. It looks cool as hell.
It is slow. Like her attack animation, like there is actually commitment to it, which I wasn't
Oh yeah,
expecting.
yeah.
Like going in as like, oh, this is a Legend of Zelda like there is no commitment to your attacks in those games. There's like
No, no.
there is commitment in this one where like you when you hit the swing, like you're swinging, but it's not like a Souls like
You know
where
where I
it
think
takes
they're
30
pulling that
minutes.
from?
What?
It feels like Castlevania to me, which is
Yeah.
obviously a huge influence on Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like that kind of like, especially with we're using the whip effectively. It's a chain sword, but it really felt like a Belmont kind of taking the whip back and cracking it forward. But man, so fun. A lot of depth of gameplay already, and depth of systems. Like you were saying, you collect the bones of the enemies to level up, but you can also start stashing those bones, or you can go into your little hollow, which is kind of the save point you have, and you can literally go in and like stash your bones in there so you can store them up. So because as keep leveling your, I think it was just what, attack, defense, and
Your side
not even
it's
health.
like your side weapon. Your
Yeah,
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 your
because you
side
can pick
weapon.
up, like, Castlevania style, like, side weapons that
Exactly.
run off, let's just say, magic power, MP, to use. I
Yeah.
think they call it spirit in the game, and they're,
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's spirit.
they're throwing axes or setting area of effect attacks in certain places and things
Mhm.
like that. Like, if you've played a Castlevania game, you've seen these. They're just translated into that, like, sort of, isometric,
Yeah.
styling.
It with with the jump from Shovel Knight to Mina, they made the jump that Konami should have made with Castlevania. Much earlier than they ever did, which isn't even like necessarily saying go full 3D, but it's more like, hey, go isometric, do the Legend of Zelda thing, because obviously Yacht Club Games is saying that uh a Castlevania in this style really rules.
Yeah,
So it would have been cool to see it. But
it was
hey,
really cool.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that
absolutely.
game comes out this year. Cannot wait. That's an instant day one buy. I'll probably
Yep.
be getting it on PlayStation because I don't think the ROG Ally X will be out yet. Because that would be a great game for that.
No, I don't think so. I agree. I will probably get it on Steam just because I already have the deck. But yeah, Uh, it would be a pretty sweet game on the PlayStation as well. I maybe I'll get it on both. We'll see. It'll go on sale at some point, I'm sure.
All right. So I think that's enough about Mina the Hollower because we could kind of wax poetic about that 30-minute demo for probably another hour.
Easy.
So I want to cover another one I know we both played, which was I gotta make sure I get the name right. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. That was the subtitle.
Yeah, Ragebound,
Yo, this is a sick fucking
which
game.
is
It's what it
this
is.
is so good.
So like it's like the OG, like old, like original Ninja Gaiden. It's like a side scrolling, fast paced, made by the Dead Cells developers, I'm pretty sure. If you can correct me,
Yes, it is made by the Game
the
Kitchen.
Game
And
Kitchen.
I'm no, that's not Dead Cells. That's Blasphemous.
Blasphemous, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check
Yeah.
myself.
I think you are correct.
Yes, yeah, it's the Blasphemous folks.
But man,
Which I did not really feel it here. I could see it in, the gorgeous pixel art.
yeah, it has oh god, that pixel art's so beautiful. But yeah, it's
So
very
good.
fast paced, like
Yeah.
really challenging but fair platforming and just like
Mhm.
super cool system. So the demo like starts at like the introduction levels of like I assume the main game and then like jumps you forward to like middle point of the game where you have this like ghost partner who's like also a ninja but like a rival clan and she has like little
Yeah.
demon powers. And the game works by like you just hit things, and sometimes when you hit them, they give you like this charge, we'll call it, that lets you just like one tap stronger enemies or any of the weaker enemies
Any
also.
enemy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And the game becomes about like stringing those together to keep
Yep.
yourself moving, and oh, it's so cool. Again, it's gorgeous. The music is bumping, and like
Yeah.
the gameplay mechanics, like, they've, like, really squeezed what they can out of, like, a 2D game like this, like, when you jump,
Absolutely.
there's no double jump, but you can do, like, a spinning attack in the air that kinda almost works like the, Super Mario World spin jump, where it'll
Exactly.
bump you up
You're just
higher.
bouncing off the next guy.
But they do some platforming stuff with that where it gets, like, almost, like, nerve-wracking where you're just like, "I can't miss a single one." And
Yeah,
it's so
they
cool.
do some platforming stuff with that, and they end up combining in the not even just the ability to do the one taps, but the necessity of doing the one taps, where you have to kind of platform and perform a specific either kunai or sword hit to get the power that you need, so that you can properly get the, power up to beat the enemy who's blocking this thing off, and you're just bouncing back and forth with all of the mechanics. And it's like, okay, this is level 3 of however
I think
many.
it's World
Hopefully,
3, it looked like. It was like 3
yeah,
tash
world, sorry, yeah,
tack
not
or act or
level, but
whatever,
world.
but
So hopefully like 7,
maybe.
7 or 8 would be feel pretty solid on this.
I cannot
Because
wait.
yeah, this is what we're seeing kind of at the onset of you getting your
Partner.
also your spirit ninja powers.
Yeah,
So this is kind of the start of that. I am really excited to play the rest of this game and see what kind of craziness it gets up to.
yeah, like, you owe it to yourself if you like just cool things to go play
Yeah.
this demo.
Yes.
It's just rad. I don't know how to put it. It's just one of those like cool ass games that doesn't feel real while you're playing it.
Yep, it's firmly sitting in the Doom kind of 2016 era of games of just
Yes.
like I'm cool as hell and you
Yes.
just come and enjoy me. Everything about me is a vibe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope that game delivers on the promise that the demo set up because it is very promising indeed.
I mean, if
I
it's
love that one.
only just as good as the demo, it's still
Yeah, that's all I
that's a
need.
great game. If it's better
Yeah.
than the demo, that's a game of the year contender, like very easily.
Yeah, give me that for like 8 to 12 hours would be really cool. I think like 15 to 25 with secrets and stuff would be,
Ideal.
ideal, but I'm being realistic with this kind of game. I feel like
Uh,
8
I don't
hours
know,
is
probably
probably.
around 8 hours. But I think if you want to get all those challenges done for the
Oh yeah, the
levels,
challenges are going to be
yeah,
crazy.
like the first level has challenges. Don't get hit, and you're just like,
Yeah.
okay. And I
It's something
almost got
like
it, and
literally
Ryu fucking
something
got
just
me.
flew into me.
Yeah, like, I almost got it, and Ryu, like, just touched me right at the end. I was like, "Son of a bitch."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
Very good.
other game we both played, I know, is one you sent me called Ball Pit on Steam.
Ball pit.
You can describe this one since you played a
Yeah,
lot of it.
so this one I only caught wind of because it had a very long kind of feature presentation at the end of Jeff Fest. So yeah, Ball Pit is very fun. It is your typical piggle ball bouncer or ball shooter. Sorry, block breaker.
Yeah, Brick
Because you
Breaker.
don't have to bounce it back.
Yeah, it's
It
it's
just
Brick Breaker
helps
from,
you
like,
if
the
you
old
catch it
iPod.
back. Exactly. So you have a brick breaker, but instead of just being a boring little, pong paddle at the bottom, instead you are some sort of knight and you're walking around. There is a surprising amount of story in this game. I did try to for this demo. I was looking at some of it. It seems funny enough. I like their sense of humor. As you texted me, I think. That right at the beginning they have kind of a little a line that really stuck out to you. Do you remember
Oh,
what that was?
oh, no, but it was so good.
Balbalon has fallen.
Yes, Balbalon has fallen is one of
Yeah,
the
that's pretty
hardest
good.
lines ever, and it's so
Yeah,
good.
that really does set up the tone of the game. But yeah, so what we have here is a brick breaker, but instead of bricks, you instead of the pong paddle, we have you the knight, and then instead of bricks, you have little enemy shaped bricks, and you are shooting out one main ball and a bunch of little mini balls, and then you're collecting, power ups and level ups and different things like that, and gold in order to create or to grab new fancy balls like a spike ball, a flame, ice,
Ghost.
egg sack, ghost ball, all with special effects. Like the ghost ball bounces through enemies and does, extra damage on bouncing back through. The egg sack splits into tiny little eggs or webs them up. But in addition to collecting these main balls, you can do the evolution, which is combining, two balls that have a set evolution in the game, which include, it's kind of fun to figure them out as you go along. Even for this demo, I will say it's it kind of grabbed me for at least an hour, maybe like two, honestly. Um, and but it's fun, so I don't want to spoil too many. But like obvious combos like the egg sack and the brood mother give you a combination. If you combine like the horizontal and vertical beam, it gives you a big X beam that'll fire off on diagonals.
Basically, if you've
And
played
you're
Vampire Survivors, it's
yeah,
that system, but they also take
it
it a
is.
step further, with the fusion system, which I thought was really cool. So
Yes.
sometimes you'll get this like pickup in the world that lets you combine just two random power like balls that you have, and just they don't become a like special like unique ball. It just literally
Yeah.
combines their effects, and it stops taking up one of your like you get an extra slot so you can have more weapons effectively. So you
Exactly. You can only have 4 special balls, which is weird because I have only thought that you could have 2 special balls, but this game, is better. But those 4 special balls take up the 4 spots, 4 spots in your
splots.
inventory. So with those spots, you have to, manage them, and maybe combining them into the combo is going to be a bit better. Or maybe you want to keep it and wait for the evolution of the next thing. There's a fun little bit of strategy going in with this stupid little ball breaking Vampire Survivor game. Yeah, this game hit everything of what I want. This would be an auto buy. This would not be a Switch 2 auto buy for me if it dropped Shadow Drop tomorrow. Uh
It would be a great phone game. It's like how Vampire
Oh yeah.
Survivors was. This would be
Yeah.
another one of those. That and the runs are like they're not like 30 minutes long. They're
No,
like 10 minutes
it's
max.
15 is what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah, 15 minutes, and then those 15 minutes fly by while you're playing it.
Absolutely.
I played this
You
for
are
about an
just
hour and had a
constantly like uh there's constant feedback going on. It is a very great ADHD game. I played a bunch of survivors as well this week. Just ones that I had played in the past and wanted to revisit. But I just love that genre. So I'm really happy that Ball Pit is on the horizon
yeah,
at some point.
that one
That one has just a vague, I think, 2025 release date as
yeah,
well.
game it tickles the brain good, real good.
Absolutely.
Alright,
Feeds my worms.
so now for, I've played 2 games I don't think you had a chance to play, and I'll cover them real quick and dirty. First is
Yeah.
Baby Steps, which is, from the developer who made the Getting Over It game. You've probably if you don't know what that game is, you've seen it in online clips. It's a dude in a cauldron with a sledgehammer, and he just swings it around as he tries to climb a mountain.
Yeah.
It's one
There's no way that you are listening to this podcast and you don't know what it is. I would say I'd be very
I
surprised. But if you don't, look it up
it's
immediately.
one of those things that people have seen it. I know they know it, they just maybe not know what it's
Yeah.
called. Like, I forever thought that
Yeah.
was a Flash game. It turns out it wasn't. But Baby Steps is their venture into the 3D world, and y
And just to real quick, this is a Bennett Foddy
Bennett
game.
Foddy, yeah, because the game is called Getting Over
Yep.
It with Bennett Foddy. I couldn't remember his name.
Yep.
So it's a Bennett Foddy game. It's about walking. It's just about walking. If you thought Death Stranding was a walking sim, as is often disparaged, this is literally that what you think Death Stranding is. It
Yeah.
starts with, you are like this guy, like this is the ultimate loser. I don't want to like be mean, but he's the ultimate loser. He's sitting in his parents' basement as they're having a discussion of like, we need to talk about him because like he's just wasting away. You're in these gray onesies, pajamas, like you're a little overweight with
Oh yeah.
unkempt hair and beard. And on the TV screen, it says it's the Netflix. Are you still watching? It's like, are you still watching One Piece? And then you
Oh
like
no.
somehow he just gets teleported to this other world and he doesn't know where he is. And then you take control and you walk by using the left and right trigger to lift either your left or right foot respectively, and you lean with the
Okay.
left stick. And it's just about getting the rhythm down and walking. And if you fall, like there's no penalty, you just get back up unless you fall and
Yeah.
like you slide down something. Uh but then like you'll walk through this cave and it looks like you're in like very, like, gray, dismal, weird, like, looks post-apocalyptic, but, like, after the apocalypse was done and everything's, like, growing back world, and, you meet this guy who's, like, just trying to talk to you, and your main character is just the most nervous. He's like, I don't know if I wanna talk, and eventually he's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." He's like, "Oh, you can just go in that bush over there." He's like, "Are you gonna watch me?" He's like, "Probably not." He's like, "No,
Probably.
I'll just go find one," and you, like, go walking off, and you're just free to explore a whole first chapter and find the bathroom. There's, like, a porta potty you can find, but there's also other stuff in the world, and the game just lets you go whatever direction you want. I thought I'd play this for about maybe 10 minutes, and I sat there and played it for, like, an hour and a half.
Oh,
Just
damn.
the
So how did you find the controls then?
uh
Frustrating
No,
or
because when you fuck it
okay.
up, it's like when you know how people talk about Souls likes, like, no, when you die, you know what you did wrong. Every time you
Yeah.
fall, you're like, I did this wrong. That was on me.
Okay, so this isn't really a rage game.
It
Like,
no, it can be. I fell down a mountain and I got
okay,
really sad, but I got right back up and
gotcha.
started walking again. It's like
Okay, okay.
it like you're just like, well, I guess I'll just keep going. It can
Yeah,
it
so this is really the culmination of like QWOP, which is I don't know if it's Bennett Foddy's first game, but that's like the browser game where you're playing as the athlete
and you
and
control
you
the
can only
muscle
use
tendons.
QWOP. What's up?
Yeah, that game you control like the individual muscles of the legs.
Yep. Exactly. So there's Quap and then Clop, which is a horse, and then there's the climbing one, and I can't remember what that was. But I don't think it was
Only
as
up.
funny a funny pun like Clop.
I think of Only Up,
Um,
that was, like, a year or 2 ago where he's climbed a big tower. Yeah,
yes,
Only
yeah.
Up.
I don't know. I don't think that was Bennett Foddy
No, it
though,
wasn't, it
but
was
that is a rage game,
yeah, yeah, and it was
definitely.
so people loved it so much they put it in Expedition 33.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and then so you have a combination of that, and then the real rage of like and kind of moving aroundness of getting over it.
It's a good game. I
Nice.
don't know if I'll play more. I might if it's, like, 20 bucks, I'll probably get it and go through it just for the laugh.
Hmm.
So, like, looking it up, all the cutscenes, it's all, like, I know last week we talked about how we're kinda over the Rick and Morty humor, but, like, you know how when they do the interdimensional television episodes, those are all just
Yeah, yeah,
improv? That's them just
yeah.
vibing back and forth? Every cutscene is that. They have the general
Gotcha. Okay,
direction of
so
where they have to
very like
go.
we're hitting that Tim and Eric, Rick and Morty weirdness type thing.
Yeah, I look, I recommend just if you will know if this game is for you within 5 minutes. Play the game, like,
Yeah,
download the
that
demo, just get out of that first cave and see the real first cutscene, and you will immediately know whether or not you like this game, and it got me to
ugh,
laugh, so I will probably play more just for that.
I love demos so much. Just real quick, not even like a digression. I just love the existence of demos. I love having them.
They went away
So
for so
nice.
long. Remember when demos were, like,
Yeah.
everywhere? Like, especially, like, the PS3 360 era? I
Yep.
mean,
I
hell,
mean,
we were the era of demos on disc that you'd get with, like, magazines.
getting a like Game Informer in the mail, or not Game Informer specifically. It would be like PSN
Yep,
magazine, or not PSN.
PSM,
What is it?
PlayStation
M,
Magazine.
yeah, PSM. And getting the demo disc in there, which also I think usually had a music video or two on
Yeah, it had,
it.
like, a trailer. I had one, like, the one I played the most, it had, uh, Spyro 3: Year of the Dragon, which
Oh
it
hell
had 2
yeah.
parts from it. It had a level you could play, and then it just had this first skate park in that game.
Nice.
I
I
played
played the Tombo one a lot.
I had Tomba. It
Oh,
was a
I never did. I
I
just had the
I
demo
couldn't
disc.
figure it out as a kid. I was too dumb. Maybe a little too young. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. But I played the crap out of that singular demo disc just for that one
That's
thing,
so
and
funny.
on that same demo disc, it had the, like, first trailer for Metal Gear Solid 2. So I
Oh
yeah,
really?
so I would play that, watch that, go back and play more. Oh, man,
Yeah.
what a time.
Man, demo was so
And then
good. Man, life was
they
better.
died in, like, the PS4 era, and I think Steam's what's
Yep.
really bringing them back with the Next Fest.
Absolutely it is. Yeah, because even with, like, the PS5, We are seeing definitely more demos now than I ever have in the last, 5 years on console. But Steam is where the demos are coming from, like you were saying. Like, and it's so nice. And I love it. I love that people are like, hey, take this sample of my game so you can see if you vibe with it. Which Steam already has a very like forgiving return policy and everything, but I like developers offering out and being like, "Hey, try this, see if you like it." Especially when it's a game like I can't believe I already forgotten the name of the game that you just played.
Baby steps.
Baby Steps. It's like, what the hell is it? It's a stupid name.
Great name.
Especially when it's a game like that with such a specific and weird concept,
Yeah,
you
because if
know?
you look at this game, it looks like that type of indie slop that just kinda gets put out there.
Yeah.
Just like, if you look at a
Yeah, it
screenshot of this
does.
game, it looks awful. Just try it.
Which is purposeful
Yeah,
at
like, I
this
don't think
point.
anything in this game is supposed to feel, look, or sound good, but man, it's such a
Yep.
meditative experience. But
So
I
interesting.
also
What a interesting creator.
I also got to play another, like, I would say a ambitious indie game. So,
Oh yeah.
as a millennial, I love dinosaurs. Grew up with Jurassic Park. One of my favorite game series is Dino Crisis and, like, Turok.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love me some Turok. I'm not as into Dino Crisis as you, but continue.
But there's a first-person shooter coming out called Ferocious that I played the demo for. It's a very lengthy demo. It is very obviously very early. No, just because of like they're like, hey, this opening cutscene's just a placeholder. Hey, some of these mechanics are in items are just placeholders. I'm like, ooh, maybe you shouldn't have put out the demo this early then. But
Yeah.
I like the concept enough that I hope they can like not. I'm not assuming them to get to, like the full AAA level because this game does look like pretty because I think it's using Unreal Engine 5. But
Oh
first
yeah.
per-
I'm looking at it right now. It does look
it's
pretty.
a first person shooter about you crash on an island with your brother and you have to go find him, but there are dinosaurs and these other like this military there that is trying to like impede you for some reason. And
Yeah.
you
For plot.
for plot. And you are just trying to find your brother. And you know, you see dinosaurs, you fight some giant scorpions, you fight a lot of the like PMC army. Like that's like the major enemy that you're fighting in this game. It's not like dinosaurs, but dinosaurs exist in the
Huh.
world and they are threats to you and the PMCs. So you get about after the first like level in the demo, you get this like item that lets you scan a dinosaur and now you kind of it's your friend now effectively. And you can send it to go do
Ah.
something. So like for example, very early in the first level, you see a lot of these small spaces you can't get to go into these rooms to like remove sticks from these objects that will open doors. But, you know, like I can't remember what they're really called, but the chompies, as they're called in, Jurassic Park.
Oh, Jurassic Park 2.
Yeah, the very small ones that, like, move in packs. If you
Yes.
scan
I can't
those
remember what they're called
if
either.
you scan those, you can send them into, like, a small place, and they'll go fetch the thing or unlock the door.
Ah.
Or
They are small and capable of removing
yeah,
sticks.
or, the duck-billed one, I almost said zombie, dinosaur. The duck-billed dinosaur
Duckbill
the
zombie.
duck-billed dinosaur sorry, I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil lately. Duck-billed dinosaur that you can find will let you, like, go over bramble and different water because you can ride it. If you get the Triceratops, you can
Hmm.
make it crash through a gate, and it will fight people for you. Very funkily, like, you can say, like, when I say it's early, like, these are, like, the things where I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
this is still a little too early to show." Like, this is, like, pre-alpha alpha maybe, somewhere in that range.
I mean, what they're going for, I'm just checking out, or I was just looking at quick videos and screenshots. Like, they are trying to make some pretty nice looking graphics
How
here and
like, if I
dinosaurs.
could sell this, this is like it's almost like they're making Far Cry 2 with dinosaurs.
Yes, absolutely is
And
what it looked like.
man, if they can just get like if they can get there, this could be a really like good hidden gem that's like just tucked away on like the Steam store. So you know,
Yeah.
I'm following that game. And let me just give a shout out real quick for anyone that's listening and for you, Jarvis. If you ever are playing an indie game or any game on Steam and you wanted to get it eventually or you are interested in it, put that on your wish list
Oh yeah.
because that actually helps developers more than you think. It gets them boosted in the algorithm so they can be seen by more people.
Hmm.
So, highly recommend just if you find a game interesting, wishlist it just so they get the
Absolutely.
bonus.
Plus, they, on Steam, it'll make sure that they automatically get you on any of the news and stuff. So if they have an open beta or something like that, like you'll be one of the first people to know.
And sales.
So, and sales, like, even if it's a game that's already out or something like that, like, lets there's a little sale going on. Steam's good like that.
Now, I think
PlayStation is not.
no.
I will
Though
say they do not notify you if something on your wish list is on sale.
I forget that I had things on my wish list. I went to finally buy something one time. I was like, "This is on your wish list." I was like, "Oh no, shit, really? I didn't know that."
I have a wish
Yeah.
list.
But I think we have about one time for one more game to talk about. And since you're our
Yeah.
resident Souls person on the Pixel Pickers podcast, I heard
Ba, ba,
I
ba.
heard you played Neo 3, the demo that they released on PlayStation and Steam.
I did. So Neo 3, this is third in the series by Team Ninja. Or original creators of
Get
uh,
there. Get there.
Ninja
There
Gaiden.
you go.
Sorry, I was like,
Original creators of Ninja
I
Gaiden Black.
Black. Yes. Sorry, not like the original Ninja Gaiden. But, when it first started getting incredibly hard, pretty, and cool. Anyways, uh Team Ninja, if you don't know about the previous two Neo games, this one could potentially be for you because they try to make some of the systems a little bit easier. But basically, Neo is a Souls-like take on a little bit of samurai drama. It takes place in Japan. They try to do a little bit of historical stuff with the stories, but it's mostly just, go around, fight demons, and occasionally fight someone who's about your same size, and it is the most difficult fight of your
They're
life.
so cool.
Very fun games. Go ahead.
I said, but they're so cool when those fights happen.
Oh yeah. So good. Very difficult but fun games. A lot of really unique and fun systems. I love what Team Ninja does for the most part. I have a lot of fun in a lot of their games, and they have a big love for difficulty and like depth of gameplay. So with Neo 3, they kind of took one little step towards a little bit less, not necessarily less depth of gameplay, but more accessibility. And in that, what it is your character can switch between effectively a samurai and a ninja stance, and you get two complete move sets with those. And by switch between them, I mean it is a single button press, and you swap completely over to the different move set. So, and you will be expected to do this back and forth. Samurai is obviously going to be a bit slower, hit a bit harder, but also if you played Neo before, they're going to have moves that allow you to clear out like the demonic aura in the area, and clear out things like that. Whereas when you switch over to your little shinobi mode, you're going to be moving a lot faster. Instead of the demonic aura type stuff, you get ninja tricks. So you get kunai, smoke bombs, things like that. Presumably, as the game goes on, you're going to get a lot more of these. Team Ninja, as I was saying, they love their depth of gameplay, and they love their items. So I'm sure there's going to be hundreds, or at least dozens of different items to equip on your ninja set. And instead of having like kind of the clearing move that the samurai has, the ninja has a very quick dash and kind of flip around to the back. Both very fun to play. I found myself preferring the ninja move set for the most part. Uh, but yeah, I would say like if you are already into Neo 3 is going to be an easy sell for you. But I'm actually kind of surprised that they're you know, uh taking a step towards accessibility in terms of like the two entirely different movesets being available to one character, I don't necessarily love it.
You don't
Um,
love that you
it
can
feels
swap between them?
yeah, so I think it's interesting, but I'm so used to games where you are set into a play style that this feels very wishy-washy. I don't know how much customization you're going to get out of this, which is something I really, really have enjoyed about Nioh 1 and 2 is the extreme depth of customization and character building. But if I'm getting access to like these two already, I don't, maybe there'll be a lot of customization in the way that both of them work. But, I just don't want it to be I have access to absolutely everything. I like doing a little bit of building and stuff. But for playstyle wise, it moves pretty or it feels pretty smooth. Um it does feel like a cleaner version of Neo, which again, I don't know. It's kind of smoothing off some rough edges that I like about Neo. Um, but we'll see on full release how I'm feeling about it.
So you will play this on full release, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm gonna review weight this one actually. I might even sale weight it overall, like even if it gets like really good reviews. Just because I've played so many Souls games, and unless like it is going to be like a groundbreaking one or just one that's can't miss, I can wait.
Yeah, because I probably will, miss this one. Again, I am not the Souls guy. I am actually I don't like Souls games personally. I I
Yeah,
give them tries at least 1 a year. Right now I'm trying Lies of P, which it's it's okay.
I like it a lot.
No,
I'm
I know
surprised that
a
you
lot of people like it. I love the aesthetic. Like, honestly, the only thing it's kinda like
yeah.
Bloodborne, like, the only thing that pulled me through Bloodborne was the aesthetic. I love the aesthetic, and that pulled me through. Uh,
Yeah.
and I beat Bloodborne. Will I beat Lies of P? Maybe. Uh I have, like, some small gripes with it, mainly, like, the thing that gets me killed most is the camera. Oof,
Huh.
it's rough during boss fights because 'cause I'll be like maybe I'm just moving too much, I'm not just standing there and parrying. Like, I think that's what the game wants me to do.
Maybe,
Because like, I'll be
you
moving
know,
and then, like,
it
a
definitely does.
pole will come between me and my camera, and I'm like, "I can't see." And then that's exactly when the enemy launches their, like, 5 hit "fuck you" combo, and I'm like, "Alright, well, I guess I'm
Yeah.
dead." 'Cause I'm like
It's always how it
I'm like
goes.
6 chapters in to Lies of P, I think. I don't know how long it is.
Yeah.
I'm fighting like
I don't know how many chapters it
I'm
is, but I think you were a good amount of the way
oh,
through it.
really? Because I'm at the
Well, no, 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 no. Sorry. Like you've gotten like a good distance in, but I don't think you're like all the way through
yeah,
yet. Sorry.
no, yeah, I don't think I'm all the way through. I'm fighting the brothers with the guy's got the big sword, and he'll call in his friend, like, his little buddies will come down, the Black Cat Gang or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, you're still relatively early then.
Yeah, I've maybe killed, like, 6 or 7 bosses.
Oh, yeah, 6 chapters was way earlier than I expected it to be.
Okay. Like, I was just going based off the little, like, when you go to fast travel. Yeah, I've only played, like, 2
Yeah.
days worth.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
again, I've played Nioh, though. I remember I was very excited for Nioh because huge Onimusha fan, and the first game
Yeah.
screams, "Hey, we're not Onimusha, but" and I really like the stance switching. Do they still have that in Nioh 3?
Yeah. Just for the samurai.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause
So you still have access to
yeah,
that.
'cause in Nioh, like, you have 3 stances. You have high, medium, and, like, middle and low. That's, like, how you hold your sword, and it just gives you a whole
Yeah.
different move set depending on which one you're in, and you swap them on the
Yep.
fly, and I didn't beat Nioh 1, but I played a lot of it, and it has one of my, like, boss fights where it's just you and another person that just is a cool-ass introduction. Like, after you beat the
Yeah.
first level, there's just this spot that you can just click on the map that will take you to a boss fight, and it's just you walk into a field of white flowers, like all Metal Gear Solid 3 style, and it's just another dude standing there, and then you just duke it out. And that shit was
Yep.
really fun. Like
Very good
like
game.
there are aspects of Soul games I like, but it's like I
I
don't like the From Software Souls
Neo
games.
doesn't particularly feel very soulsy to me, except for in the fact that it has like, the bonfire mechanic effectively.
Yeah.
The bonfire, I collect souls. When I die, my souls sit in a pile. I have to go pick up my
and it's
souls.
brutally
But,
difficult.
like, I don't know
Neo
because,
2
like,
was
you can
brutal.
I thought Neo 2 was easier just because they gave you so many things to like your move set was so deep
Okay,
in that
I don't
one.
know. Maybe I just didn't click with me. I played like
I
5 or 6 hours
love
of
Neo
Neo
2.
2, but like Neo 1, I think
Oh,
I put the most, and it was probably only like 15 hours because that's about how long I can
okay.
play a Souls game before I just get burnt out on them.
Yeah, I don't know. I just there are ones that feel very soulsy and those are kind of where they're more clanky. Yeah, they feel more like you're a little more tanky and chunky, and Neo definitely doesn't feel like that for
No,
me.
yeah, Neo does not feel chunky at all. It feels smooth.
It's smooth.
You move like
Wo
butter.
Long, kind of their Chinese mythology slash history follow up to Neo, also very good, also very smooth game.
Yeah, I mean that's Team Ninja. Like it's about like video game shit.
Yeah, they're great. I love them as a company. I just don't finish most of their
I
games.
don't think I've ever finished a Team Ninja. No, no, wrong. I have the DMC remake. I beat
Uh,
that.
oh, I can think of another one. Oh, you know what? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Oh, yep. That is Team Ninja, also, isn't it? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I beat that.
That is a surprising Team Ninja
And
one.
bring back Ultimate
I'm
Alliance.
looking them up right now because I'm trying to feel like see if there's anything else.
Bring back.
I mean, obviously, there's Dead or Alive and
Yeah.
the beach volleyball that it then brought
Then
upon.
make it 3. No, I haven't played that game, but yeah,
But
bring back Marvel Ultimate Alliance. God, the games are so good.
yes.
Bring back
Oh,
remaster the X-Men games. Remaster Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. Make a 4th one
oh, they did Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, the retelling of the first Final
with
Fantasy
a
game.
lot
That's a very fun
with a
one.
lot of fucks.
Fuck. Fuck.
Fuck
Yeah,
chaos.
that's a good
I didn't
one.
play that one either because
Chaos.
I looked at it, I was like, "Ooh, that looks like a Souls-like." Don't care.
Oh no, not even a
Not
little
even a
bit.
little bit.
Not even a
It's just
little bit.
it's a fun action game.
Fun, really cool job system action game.
Okay,
Not even a little bit of a Souls game.
I'll have to check that one out then because that was like, oh, I'm not playing a Final Fantasy Souls game, even though like that could be the thing that could get me there. Like the only reason I ever played Neo is because
Yeah.
it looked like Onimusha, and I was you know in a desert begging for one drip of that Onimusha water that I would take the dew
Yeah.
from anything that looked like it.
Yeah, and that was my initial worry. Well, that when the new Onimusha game was just recently announced this year or end of last year, I don't really remember.
Into last year,
Was it this year?
TGS.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Um, when that happened, I was thinking, so I feel like this is just going to be Neo or Onimusha Souls. But then finally seeing the gameplay revealed, and it's like, oh, no, it's just Onimusha in the current
Just
era.
looks dope as
Finally.
hell. And it would have been so
Yep.
easy for them to make it their Capcom Souls game. It would have been
Yeah.
so easy.
It fits so
Like when
well.
you describe Onimusha, people are like, "Oh, is it a Souls game?" I'm like, "No, but it's about Souls."
Surprisingly, no.
Surprisingly, no. It's got all the
Yeah.
trappings, but none of the stuff that makes it a Souls game.
Yeah. It has more in common with Resident Evil than it
I
does
mean,
to a
that
Souls
diverges
game.
immediately after the first one.
Uh, First one, yes.
Yeah, the first one is
But
very
I
much a
just
Resident Evil game with samurais.
mhm, very
Look,
funny.
I look. Hear me out. The concept of Resident Evil, but it's this.
Yeah. Oh,
Just keep
yeah.
doing that.
Give me
Give
10.
me 10 of that. Everything you can think of. Fuck it. I don't even care if it's Resident Evil, but it's My Little Pony. Like you got me. I'll be there.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. But
Pow.
I think that's all we have to say about video games today. Because Jarvis, we need to talk about some real life things. Because every week
Yes, video games are draining
they,
me. I can't take it.
yeah, because real life is so good. Uh,
Exactly.
but every week we give a recommendation for something that is non-video game related. It's to deal with some other form of medium. So Jarvis, do you have a recommendation for this week?
I absolutely do. So I'm going to recommend a TV show called Poker Face. This is a Peacock streaming original. You might not know what Peacock is because you're probably not a wrestling fan or a below deck fan, I guess, because there's not a lot of other reasons to have Peacock. Actually, you know what? I say that
And
I like a lot of the original programming on Peacock. I'm being a bougie bitch here. Peacock's pretty solid, I will say, for
it's
$10 a
yeah,
month.
it's in top 10 streaming services.
It's in my top 25,
It's just
definitely.
yeah, it's
No,
I
yeah.
watch a lot of wrestling on there.
But same. So, Poker Face, the first season, it was 2023, I think. Yes, okay. So, first season came out in 2023, and second season just or is still coming out right now. I watched this show originally when it came out, and I absolutely love it, and I show it to everyone I get a chance to. My wife does not really like watching TV shows. She doesn't really like watching like movies or really anything. She's kind of video games and reading. That's her thing. And then her specific stuff that she has read or watched in the past, rather. But she caught me watching some of the new Poker Face from this season. And the lovely Natasha Lyonne was enough to entice her and say, maybe we can watch an episode from the first season. So, going into that, Poker Face stars Natasha Lyonne, and it's a show created by Ryan Johnson of Last Jedi, Looper, Brick, Knives Out, and Glass Onion fame. So it's already got a pretty solid pedigree just going into episode one. But what really sets it apart is that, going into this crime show, it's not typically set up like all of the others, someone just on the run, maybe solving mysteries and stuff, and you're figuring out the mysteries alongside of them. No, this is an inverted story, similar to Columbo or Law and Order Criminal Intent, in that you see the crime, the victim, the perpetrator, and typically the motive for why it was committed all in the beginning of the episode, and the rest of the episode is just how our heroine, Charlie Kale, figures out how to either, get the comeuppance on the villain of the story or maybe even get the police on them or something. But the show is incredibly funny. All of the little stories that bring Charlie or Natasha Lyonne through the series are really interesting. I have a lot of episodes that I really love. A particular standout for me in the first season, though, is The Stall, which is about the murder of a uh, barbecue magnate turned vegan by his own brother and the awful racist dog that helps bring it all together and get a little justice for the murdered brother. It's very funny. It's a great show. I really love it. Yeah, Poker Face. Gotta watch it.
I've been meaning to check that out for a while because I like Natasha Lyonne and stuff. She's very funny. You've
Yeah.
probably if most people would probably know her from Orange is the New Black when that was really big back in the day.
Yep.
So I do need to check that
Yeah.
out.
Also, specifically on that, there are a ton of other cast members from Orange is the New Black on here. Probably because, Natasha Lyonne suggested them because they're always just in smaller parts.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
Uh, my recommendation for this week though is not a TV show, but it is something you could probably watch on Peacock, maybe. But I know it's definitely all on
Maybe.
YouTube for free. So recently, WWE acquired a lucha libre company called AAA, and they
Ah.
did a what is now called a PLE Premium Live Event. They used to be called pay per views. They did one called Worlds Collide, where people from AAA and people from WWE had matches. Now, there wasn't a lot of story going into this. For people who are not in wrestling, story is a big thing in wrestling. Uh, but they just put on the most banger show probably this year. Uh, Now, if you're not a big wrestling person, you don't need to watch the whole thing. There is one match that you can watch on YouTube that I just feel is like this is like why wrestling is fucking awesome to watch. It's Hijo del Vikingo versus Chad Gable, where they just put on a literal barn burner of a match, and it's just these lucha libre like flying and fast movement style versus a like more traditional like Olympian style wrestling, and those two styles go together like just peanut butter and jelly. It's an
Oh yeah.
amazing match, and I highly recommend watching. Even if you're not into wrestling, it's on YouTube. It's free. If you got nothing better to do for like 20 minutes, highly recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a pulse pounding match. It like Josh said, if you're not into it, it's really cool. If you are into it, you've probably already seen it. But if you were into wrestling, in the past, maybe you grew up knowing Rey Mysterio and, Eddie Guerrero, The Rock, and Stone Cold. Picture this match as kind of a Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle at their heights. And that should excite you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely recommend watching
Oh,
that
it
as well.
it
Very
was
good
so
match.
good. I still need to, oof. Yeah, wrestling's
It got away from
yeah,
you.
wrestling's awesome. That's all I need to say. Oh, I love me some
Yeah.
wrestling. Uh,
We should go. I didn't even think about that for recommendations, but maybe putting that in the lineup in the future, rotating like a old banger of a match in the chamber every once in a while.
I mean, I could do that. A lot of it would just be a lot of Kurt Angle matches. You
Yeah,
can't go wrong. Just if you go watch a best of Kurt Angle compilation, you'll have a great day.
the man is peak.
One of the best to ever do it. But I
Easy.
think that's all we have for today. Jarvis, do you have anything else for today?
No, the only other thing I'd say that I've been doing this week is just been playing a lot of the gates, Split and Wild, and having an okay time with that. They're fine. Wild Gate, kind of cool. Excited for full release. But nothing else big going on with me in terms of video games. How about you?
Other than like Liza P. Oh, I for the first time, as a huge Capcom stan that I am, one of my like blemishes on my record of being like a huge Resident Evil fan is I've never beat Resident Evil Remake before.
Ah,
I
right.
I didn't have a GameCube growing up, so I didn't have the chance to play it. I bought it when it came to PS4, and somehow it got away from me, and I like played like the first like hour or so and never got back to it. And after the trailer for Resident Evil 9, I was like, God, I'm jonesing for a little survival horror right now.
Yeah, right.
So I just like looked up and I was like, you know what? I own all the Resident Evil games basically. Let me just go through remake. Maybe I'll play them through chronologically and just have a good time. Since they're basically all on PlayStation, and with PlayStation like streaming, you can play like the PS3 ones too, like the light gun games, which
Yeah.
I really want to do. But I finally played through
Nice.
remake, and man, how people for like the last 20 or so years been saying, "Wow, these are this is like two of the best, like one of the best remakes ever made." Yeah, they
Yeah.
weren't lying. Like in
Yeah, it's so good.
2025, like I got jump scared by a 25-year-old
Yeah.
video game, and I don't get jump scared easy, and it got me with one. I was like, because I've beat Resident Evil before, like the original like PS1 one. I beat that, and I beat it
Right,
on
yeah.
DS. So like I know Resident Evil 1, but like so much is different about remake that like even though
Yeah.
I knew it was different, like it still would fuck me up. I'm like, no, I'm supposed to go this way. How is it locked? And I just like stuff like that, and it was just an awesome experience. I'm probably gonna do my Chris playthrough now, and then maybe move along into
Nice.
the rest of the Resident Evils. Just such a great time. Sorry I slept on that for 20 years, but I'll take that fan mode, like that seal approval that I can be a real fan now. Don't tell me I have to play it on
Exactly.
invisible enemies mode. You can go suck a dick.
That's wild. Absolutely not. But now you can, at least play 1 through 4 all in remake. That's kind of
That's
cool now.
yeah. I
You
mean,
you, you know, you waited and got that. So, that's nice.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, that's
Mm,
it for this week for us. So If you enjoyed the podcast, please do leave a like on either the YouTube video or a review on Spotify. Also, tell us what you played at the Steam Next Fest or other demos you've played. What are you excited for? You can leave that down like the comment section below. And as always, if you want to see
Absolutely.
more of us, you can subscribe to us here or, well, wherever you're listening, and or Spotify and YouTube. And I think that wraps it up for everything. Jarvis, can you take us out of here?
It's dangerous to go alone. Take us. Bye.
Bye.